2025 was a great year for us motorcyclists because we had over 20 brand new motorcycle launches. What we have here is the lineup of the top contenders. We've got everything from a sporty twin-cylinder Italian naked, an innovative electric bike from one of India's most renowned startups, a big Japanese company making its first foray into the premium 125cc commuter space, and as you can see, multiple ADVs. Indocent General Insurance, formerly known as Reliance General Insurance, presents Autocar India Awards 2026 in association with DMS technology partner Orbit Sys. Now let's see what the best bikes of the year gone by are all about. Before we proceed, let's give you a rundown of all the bikes that are nominated. The full list, in alphabetical order, comprises the Aprilia Tuono 457, Hero Glamour X, Hero Xpulse 210, Hero Extreme 250R, Honda CB125 Hornet, Jawa 42 FJ, Kawasaki KLX230, KTM 160 Duke, KTM 250 Adventure, KTM 390 Adventure X, KTM 390 Adventure, KTM 390 Enduro R, Matter Era, Royal Enfield Bear 650, Royal Enfield Classic 650 Twin, Royal Enfield Goan Classic 350, Royal Enfield Scram 440, Triumph Thruxton 400, TVS Apache RTX 300, Ultraviolette X-47, and Yamaha XSR155. The Autocar India Bike of the Year award is reserved only for brand new motorcycles that have launched in the past year and are fully made in India. The motorcycle is judged on multiple parameters like performance, design, value for money, fuel efficiency, overall quality, and its ownership experience. Bikes that elevate the class they are in or the motorcycling genre as a whole get a special mention. Coming to the matter of winning the award, the bike needs to be a fresh and enticing product, but it must also be a well-rounded machine that excels at its intended purpose. For the purposes of our jury round, we've narrowed the full list down to our top picks for our jurors to choose from. But before it all begins, let's meet our jury members. Our jury is represented by riders who are experts in their respective fields and each has decades of riding experience under their proverbial belt. They are also discerningly astute regarding current market trends as well as the average customer's needs and wants from the machine they buy. Rajni Krishnan is perhaps the most famous and successful Indian racer when it comes to road racing, with 11 national championships to his name. Additionally, he's also been successful in multiple international championships held in Malaysia and Qatar, among others. Joining Rajni, we have Rishad Modi, editor Bikes, and Azaman Chothia, principal correspondent Bikes at Autocar India. Before we begin the riding evaluation, the jurors take a closer look at the bikes and discuss each machine's strong points in this year's top picks. Before we begin, here's your chance to have your say on the winners. Vote for your favorite bike of the year and stand a chance to present the Viewer's Choice of the Year award at the Autocar Awards in Mumbai on January 8th. Full details in the pinned comment below. And now, it's time to get riding, evaluate these bikes and score them based on their overall package. This year is all about the unexpected with a healthy dose of adventure bikes. Kicking things off is the new Honda CB125 Hornet, the smallest bike we have here today, but an important one nonetheless.
The look is very nice, but I feel maybe still work on the front headlight. You can say the design is I don't like much. Otherwise, the bike package is very good.
Honda has joined the 125cc class with the CB125 Hornet, and according to me, this is a really nice motorcycle. I mean, in terms of design, it's youthful, it's sharp, and it has some really nice and unique color schemes on offer. Like they said, the headlight at the front, it can be changed and it's a matter of personal preference. But the engine, it's nice and refined, it's good to ride in the city. So as an everyday commuter, it's a good option from Honda. But it is slightly on the premium side in terms of pricing. But I think it lives up to that because of the nice build quality that it has.
The premium sporty 125cc commuter space is really heating up, and with the little Hornet, Honda aims to carve out its own piece of this growing pie. From one Japanese bike, we move to another, although this one isn't exactly all new. Available internationally for many years now, Yamaha India has finally brought the handsome XSR155 to our shores.
And the engine is very smooth, and you can say easy to ride in the traffic, and very comfortable when you're riding also. I think so mileage also very good this bike. I feel you can say one of the good bike to buy and ride for the traffic and the everyday riding.
Launched internationally in 2019, arrives in India at the end of 2025. Maybe that tells you what Yamaha thinks of our market, but either way, it's not a case of too little too late, because this is a really sweet motorcycle. It is good to ride as you would expect with that R15 MT15 chassis and engine. It looks really nice. It's going to be fuel efficient, it's comfortable, and it has a nice price tag, just under rupees 1.5 lakhs, which is introductory, but it's still a good price point. This will be a serious rival to the Hunter 350, but had it come to India a few years earlier, it could have been a serious contender for Bike of the Year. This year, it's just another nice bike in the lineup.
Following the XSR is the KTM 160 Duke, a bike that was specifically made to take on the 155cc Yamahas like the MT15 and R15. Based on the Gen 2 KTM Duke architecture with a new 160cc liquid-cooled engine, the new Baby Duke is well poised to take the fight to the Yamahas.
I feel engine is very smoother, and when you're riding very smooth also, and the riding position is very good also. Riding in the city, quite good to ride also.
I think it makes sense what KTM has done with this bike in terms of discontinuing the 125 and going after the popular Yamaha 155cc bikes. It's a perfectly nice motorcycle and it will have mass appeal, but I can't help feeling that it has lost some of that KTM character in the way it sounds. It's a very smooth engine, which is not a problem, but it doesn't have any KTM sort of sound. You could consider this to be a Japanese engine almost in just the way it feels when you're riding. Maybe Bajaj has purposely done that because those sort of bikes are so popular. But of the entire KTM lineup today, I think this is the most un-KTM feeling bike, but that may not be a bad thing.
Kicking things off for the 200cc plus category this year is the new Xpulse 210. Armed with a heavily reworked version of the Charisma's 210cc engine and with typical Xpulse strong points like great suspension and rugged looks, the new Hero Xpulse 210 is a strong contender this year.
Xpulse 210, easily one of my favorite bikes this year, definitely a strong contender of Bike of the Year for me. It is a big step up over the 200 in pretty much every way. I think it's a nice engine, great to ride in the city, fun to ride off-road, well priced, easy to ride, fun to ride. And the only thing that sort of holds me back on it is that I think quality is an area where Hero can still improve a little bit, and how they sell their premium motorcycles, that's also something that needs to improve. But in general, this really puts a smile on my face every time I ride it, and I love how affordable it is as well. But as much as I enjoy riding this bike, I keep asking myself, what if Hero had just made this a 250? They have the engine in the Extreme 250. It wouldn't have cost a lot more to re-engineer that engine for this bike. Maybe it would cost about 5,000-10,000 rupees more than it does today. And that would have been a good step above the Xpulse 200, which is still on sale. So I wouldn't be surprised if they make that upgrade in a few years' time, and I wonder if they just should have done it the first time out.
Now with the 210, Hero have given everyone the option of a slightly more substantial motorcycle with more features. The suspension on this is really nice and comfortable, and you can ride for hours. And finally, with the substantial rear end as well, you can also tour on this motorcycle.
From one off-road ready motorcycle, we move to another one that is even more so. Now made entirely in India, the KLX is priced rather attractively, and this has greatly enhanced its appeal.
I trained this bike a lot of time in the flat track, because when I want to buy that time, the bike is not available. Now this bike is available in India and affordable price also. Even you can say you can ride today road also, and more comfortable, and you can say the price is very good.
The KLX 230 is finally priced at what it should have been all along. And at this price point, like around 1.84 lakhs, it is great value for money. It's a simple motorcycle. It does everything you want it to. It has really nice suspension. So let's say you already have a really nice street bike
and you want a secondary bike that can just do everything, take it on trails, this one is your best bet.
From a Pakka dual sport, we move to a brand new adventure bike from TVS. The RTX 300 is powered by the company's all-new 300cc engine, has excellent comfort, great features and a stellar price tag.
The quality of the bike is very nice. I feel like I can say the power base and when you're riding the bike is very smooth, and even there are good power. When you're riding the bike also feels handling is very good. The bike also looking very nice, and the package is overall very good.
There are plenty of reviews out there, including our own, that tell you all the reasons why this is such an impressive bike. So I'm not going to get into that. I just want to talk about two things that stood out to me today. The first is that the quality, finish, attention to detail is amongst the best of all the bikes over here, although it costs about less than half the bikes out here. The second thing is that this is the first time we got to ride the RTX against the 390 Adventure X. And I knew that it may be a more impressive bike than the 250, but I wasn't expecting to be more impressive than the 390, which it is in terms of chassis, suspension composure, the way it rides. It's also a smoother engine. Yes, that has a clear power advantage, but apart from that, this bike really stood its own against the 390 today. And for the price, that's amazing.
So the TVS RTX, it's been a really impressive motorcycle over the last few days that I've been riding it. And what really stood out to me was that when I first saw it, I was like, it looks really much bigger than it is. But as soon as I sat on it, I completely forgot about the tall seat height and how big it is, because it handles really well and it's really nimble. It flicks over from one side to another very easily. The engine, it's refined but slightly gruff, so it has its own character. And yeah, like Rishad was saying earlier, we did ride this against the 390X, and this is just a more compliant motorcycle. It feels better on the go. So yeah, in terms of price point also, they have completely nailed it.
Keeping with the ADV theme but an unconventional powertrain, we have the Ultraviolette X-47. Using similar fundamentals as the sporty F77 with more spacious and comfortable ergonomics, and packing in some segment-first features like radar-assisted safety tech on a motorcycle, the X-47 is a unique offering in today's burgeoning EV market.
The X47 gives you all the goodness of the F77 platform in that awesome torque delivery, the electric riding experience, but it does that with a level of comfort that those bikes just can't give you, including the F77 Super Street. This is a comfortable motorcycle. It's a nice riding position. The suspension is quite soft. On the kind of roads we were on today, the suspension was too soft, but just for normal riding, bad roads across Mumbai city, it is quite comfortable and enjoyable to ride. You've got a little more suspension travel, but I also like the fact that you've got these intelligent features in there, like the blind spot warning system, the radar-based system. Ultraviolette is pushing the envelope forward. Not just with that, they've also got this clever integrated onboard charger. So this bike is not just a comfortable F77, it's also giving you never seen before tech in the segment, and that is quite interesting.
The final adventure bike of the day is the new KTM 390 Adventure X. This is perhaps the most capable, fast road touring bike under the 4 lakh rupee mark in India today, and has a great feature set too. However, with the recent GST revision, its price has now risen quite a bit.
There's a lot to like about the 390 Adventure X, starting with those cool rally bike looks. It's one of the best high-speed touring motorcycles in the country at the moment, and the electronic suite is also really good. On the other hand, there are also things that I think could be better. The riding position today, especially with the few new rivals it's got, feels a little strange. The handlebars a little too low. The suspension just has not impressed me on these 390 Adventures. Somehow the RTX uses WP branded suspension made by Endurance, which is the same thing the KTM uses, but the KTMs have more suspension travel and a more soggy feel as well. So with less suspension, the RTX feels a little more impressive. So I think there is a lot of potential in this motorcycle, but there are areas where it can improve. Suspension, overall quality, and now with the new GST rates, unfortunately anything above 350cc, including this, has gotten quite expensive.
The 390 Adventure X is offering everything that the 390 Adventure does in a more accessible package. And it's nice to see that they've given all of the features and all of the electronics that you get on the 390 Adventure. Now, this is a nice highway touring machine. You can maintain high speeds very easily.
tour easily on the motorcycle. The only thing is, in terms of practicality, it doesn't have the most substantial rear end. So if you want to mount something on top, you are going to have to look for aftermarket solutions. But yeah, overall, as a tourer, it's a nice machine. It has a very good TFT screen. But the only area where I feel it could improve is in terms of build quality.
The latest KTM 390 is perhaps the most niche offering, but also one that is a whole lot of fun. The 390 Enduro R may look like a hardcore off-roader, but in reality, it is actually a pared-back ADV. Not a bad thing at all, because you get great comfort, surprisingly pleasant road manners, and genuinely usable long-distance capability.
Sure, Enduro you can ride very good. The handling also much good, but only I feel the build quality is much more better next time. Otherwise, good bike to buy.
Now, this KTM 390 Enduro is a proper enthusiast-oriented machine. But in my opinion, it is quite a heavy motorcycle for an enduro bike, but it has a lot of power. So if you're a professional when it comes to off-road riding, this will make a lot of sense. But if you are a beginner, you might want to start off somewhere else. What I really like about the 390 Enduro is that it has different sprocketting compared to the Adventure, and it's very aggressive in the low range RPMs, and in some ways the acceleration does remind me of my Gen 1 KTM Duke 390. So yeah, it has a lot going on for it, but it is not the most accessible motorcycle in terms of seat height and practicality. So that's something to look out for.
The Tuono 457 was one of the only truly sporty machines we've seen this year, which tells you all you need to know about today's market trends. It is properly accomplished as a sports bike, but one that does a better job at day-to-day usability than its fair sibling, the RS 457.
Yeah, I ride. I enjoy the bike. Really, the very good looking bike, and the engine is the power is very good. The riding position is also very good. But I feel only some more improve the front brake. The front brake is not so much bite. Otherwise, the bike is very awesome and looking very nice.
It is really sporty. It's basically just an RS457 with a flat handlebar and no fairing, and we've already ridden on track, amazing on track. The only thing it needs is better brakes. What's taken away from the RS457 and the Tuono 457 is not about the bike itself, but the reliability issues that the engine has had, which can happen on a new platform. More than that, it's how Aprilia India has handled those reliability issues. The company has quite a lot of work to do in order to rebuild trust in this new platform, and it is such an impressive motorcycle that it deserves it.
Last, but certainly not the least, is the Royal Enfield Classic 650, the latest model in the company's lineup to use the tried and tested 648cc twin-cylinder engine paired with gorgeous retro bodywork to combine two of Royal Enfield's biggest strengths. However, at 243 kilos, it is nearly 70 kg more than the aforementioned Tuono while making nearly the same peak output.
243 kilos is a lot, and you will feel it when you pick the bike up off the stand or move around at slow speeds in traffic. But the moment you pick up some momentum, this thing turns into a really smooth, gentle, purring big motorcycle. It's a pleasure to ride at slow speeds. Just use the torque of the engine. Not an awesome amount of bottom end torque, but the moment you build a few revs, there's a lovely mid-range. It makes a great sound. This view is very special, and it's a nice bike to ride at a gentle pace. You can go quick, that is a powerful engine, 48 horsepower, but the motorcycle starts to tie itself in knots with all that weight, and you won't really enjoy that. But if you're the sort of relaxed Sunday morning rider, maybe this isn't your only motorcycle. It's a bit too big for life in our cities, but it's a wonderful soul-warming thing.
Now, with me being one of the lightest riders over here at 55 kilos, this bike is almost 5 times my weight. But that being said, it is a lovely machine to look at, especially in this chrome finishing. It looks beautiful, and it's a lot of fun to ride, especially when you have open highways ahead of you. But when you are in the city, of course, the weight is going to come in the way. It does feel really heavy. And one more thing that I do feel is a disadvantage is that this does not get tubeless tires. If you do get a puncture or if you have to replace that, removing the rear tire is going to be quite some work.
That brings us to the end of the jury round for this year's top motorcycles. The jurors have carefully and meticulously scored every machine on multiple parameters before declaring a winner. And the scores are now in. It won't be long before we announce the winners, so stay tuned.